Stefano and welcome to November's vlog. Those of you that are astute will notice we're a bit late. To be honest, had quite a few technical difficulties. Lost some footage, other footage has not had its sound on. Why, I don't know, but anyway, the upshot of all that is that a lot of the footage that I made didn't really make a lot of sense and left me a bit lost really on what to do about that. So in the end, what I've decided to do is just to put up a bit of a montage of the month with no particular explanation, and then the plot tour at the end. And really, I figure that most of you will just want to move on to the next vlog because this isn't very timely. But for me, it gives me a record of how the garden's looking at the end of November. So next year, I can check in on it, see what was doing well, what wasn't, compare it, which is one of the reasons why I make this vlog in the first place. So, for those of you that stick around, hope you enjoy what we've got. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next month. Bye bye.
Which one, the rose? That one over there? Yeah.
So there we go, Fano. That's the end of November, and it's been a beautiful month. The weather's been amazing. It's been really warm, really sunny. Apparently, though, we got a bit of rain coming in, so I thought I'd pop round and do the plot tour now. It was funny. I was just looking back on the vlog from this time last year, and tomatoes were much further ahead, but that first bit of blight was beginning to come in. So I'm hoping that I've avoided that this time. It was also very noticeable that we've got a lot more flowers in the veggie garden this year, which is lovely to see. Anyway, let's take a look round, shall we? So first off, just up here by the shed, and the roses that are either side of the door are just beginning to come into flower. I really like this one on the left hand side. I think it's called the Pilgrim, and that was the one that I managed to get a couple of cuttings off, which are now in the Italian garden and actually doing pretty well. I'll show you those a bit later. But I don't know if you can see that flower. It's a beautiful white double flower. And moving into the fruit area, I think you can see that the rhubarb is doing really well. Very pleased with that. They've all taken excellently, and I think we should be in for some good rhubarb harvest not too far away. As for the other currants, the red currants establishing themselves nicely, and the blueberries behind doing all right. And I'm just prepping the last two beds now. I've got the soil there ready to go in. As you can see, the grass has died down underneath it quite nicely, so it's all looking good. So moving up to the main beds and the strawberries. This is the newest bed, and it's doing okay, but even this is getting a bit of damage from the beetles. The other two beds have been pretty wrecked by them. I'll show you those in a second. But we've had some good harvest off the strawberries. We're picking them most days. Swinging round the carrot bed and spring onions. So this side of the bed is the successional sowing that just come in. I think you can probably just see that they're coming through now. And the spring onions are getting established as well. On the other side, probably need thinning out actually in the next day or so, and a good weed by the look of it. But let's take you to these strawberry beds. And you can see that they're not looking great at all. The beetles are really doing a number on them, particularly on this bed over here. This bed over here doesn't look good at all, which is pretty upsetting because this was doing really well. The asparagus doing nicely, and the volunteer cosmos also doing really nicely. Just really like this little end of the bed here. And the first of the tomato beds. I stripped all these down the other day, got the poles in, so all of the tomatoes are now set and ready. I have to say it's looking pretty good from here. And moving to the next set of beds, well, more tomatoes. It's going to be a theme, I think, from this plot tour. The ones on the right here are Chef's Choice from memory, and you can see they're really taking off. Can't remember which ones the ones behind are, and unfortunately all the labels broke and snapped and washed away. So it's all a bit of a lottery at the moment until we actually see what we get out of them. Onion bed. These ones are doing actually better than the other one. The other bed seems to be getting the scapes on now, and I'm having to dig them up. But this one still seems to be doing okay. The theory is that you wait for them to flop over and then you pick them. But with the scapes going on, that makes them that they won't store. So ideally we want them just to flop over. Never managed that so far. I've always had to pick them early. So we'll see. And moving up to the melon patch. This is actually doing much better than it did last year. There's much more growth on it from looking back from the video for last year. And the Love Lies Bleeding, that's the best one I've ever grown. That is quite stunning. At the back here I was going to have the cobra beans, and I only managed to get 2 to grow out of about 50 seeds. So my plan is I'm just going to keep them for seed for next year. But again, looking back at the video from last year, the cobra beans were doing excellently this time, and a big storm came in, just like we've got coming in now, and that wrecked them. So quite interested to see how these will get on over the next week or so. We'll move up to the next lot of beds. More tomatoes. I think the ones behind are the Brad's Atomic Grape from memory, but otherwise doing okay. Silver beet, as always, just never stops giving. Cucumbers taking a bit of time to establish outside compared with the ones in the polytunnel, but hopefully they'll start to kick in soon. Sweet peas, we've had so many pickings of the sweet peas already. The house smells amazing. Looks like I need to do another cut on them, but looking really lovely. The garlic all had to come up. It was completely ruined by the rust, so they all came out. And I've planted some, I'm going to say swede, but it could have been turnip seed into this part of the bed. You can see that they're just coming up now. So we'll see how they get on. Sweeping round to this other onion bed. And I think you can see here, scapes are just beginning to come through. I can see at least 1, 2, 3 at least that need to come out now. So I don't know that we're going to manage to get these to go all the way. And to the next set of beds, and I love these 3 particularly at the minute. They look amazing. The tomatoes doing really well, but the calendula, just absolute picture at the moment. Just a picture. The courgettes have been giving so many courgettes at the moment. I don't know whether they're going to last all the way through the summer, but they've just been astounding. I've had so many courgettes. It's almost a question of what can we not put courgettes in. We're having courgette cake, we're having courgette omelettes, we're having courgettes with dinner. Tomatoes on the back here. Not quite sure which ones these are. They're taking a little time to get going. And then sweeping round, this is the pumpkin patch. Lots of bees buzzing around at the minute, which is encouraging. And you can see we've already got some coming through. You can see at least 3 that are developing nicely. And coming up to the brassica bed. So this got really badly hit by some sneaky caterpillars that I think had got onto the plants while they were still in the polytunnel. Anyway, they've had a right old munch on the quiet. I popped a load of derris dust on them the other day. Hopefully that will help them a bit. But I think you can see that they're doing pretty good. And the beetroot is picking up down the sides as well, although I need to sow another row, I think, in there. And then to the final bed in the veggie patch. And again, this is just beautiful. At the front here, some volunteer and antirrhinums, snapdragons, along with the zinnias I popped in. And then the dwarf sunflowers are really just coming into their own now. Never grown these before, weren't quite sure how they were going to do. But I love them, they're fantastic. And they've got pretty long stems on, so they should be good for cutting as well. A little bit of damage from the beetles. There's the guilty party right there, I don't know if you can see it. There's a couple on there already, which is annoying. Just popping holes into them, which is a bit annoying. But anyway, gardening teaches you patience, they say. And behind those, the aubergines. 4 aubergines in there, just coming along nicely. Another courgette. That one looks like it needs to be picked today. Just do that now, I think, while I remember. So yes, the sunflower's looking amazing. And then on the back side here, these are the Soprano Roma tomatoes. Now, I'm pretty sure that these are determinate rather than indeterminate. So I've not been stripping these back, but I do need to go and double check that. Behind them here, we've got the peppers. And they were getting, I've lost 2 by some bizarre way that they were having their stems just cut off about an inch from the ground, just severed straight across for no apparent reason. It was very odd. So I put some wire netting over, and that seemed to do the trick. And these 4 are surviving, and hopefully we'll get peppers off them. Didn't get a great harvest last year, so I'm hoping for more this year. And at the end here, another David Austin rose and a smaller Lovelace bleeding. I hope that doesn't get quite as big as the other one. Otherwise that will be a bit dwarfing of everything else here. But yes, I love this bed. It's so beautiful. So heading along the windbreak, the passion fruit, beginning to take off a bit now. Not quite sure how quickly this thing grows, but it looks like it's established itself now, getting some good growth at the top. And onto the loganberry, and I have to say 3-4 days ago I thought this was dead and gone. It didn't have a leaf left on it and it looked completely wrecked, but I can actually see some new leaves coming on it now. So looks like it's going to battle through which will be really good because I was quite upset about losing that. And so on to the grape, and I have to say, I thought it was going to grow a bit more than it has. It's got a couple of bunches of grapes on, which I suspect won't last with the birds around here. But I was hoping to have a bit more growth on this, just so I could train it across the wires, really. But anyway, we'll keep watching and waiting. So there we go, Fano, that's the veggie garden, and I have to say, even to my critical eye, I think it's looking amazing. I mean, obviously it's a working space providing food for us, but at the same time, I think it's looking absolutely stunning at the minute. I love it. Okay, and now moving down to the standard rose beds, and they've been a picture, the standard roses, over the last month. This side flowered slightly earlier, and you can see they've just gone over a little bit now. Lynn's been deadheading them. But in the meantime, the dahlias have started coming into show, and they're looking great, considering these were just like a throw-in, really, while we waited for the lavender to come through. I think they're going to look great. I might keep them there. As for the other standard roses, they're still going, and they look so good. They look so good. The lavender just beginning to go over a bit now, but again, when they were going full guns, wow, this looks amazing. And behind, the cosmos is coming through nicely now, and the zinnias, which were volunteer ones from last year, are beginning to start to flower, I think. So I'm really interested to see how they go. But yeah, love this so much. And now to the planters at the front of the house, and the petunias here are really taking off. They look excellent. As a general rule, with ordinary petunias, I've failed miserably with them. Kind of feel like you miss one watering and they like give up on a hot day. The super petunias which I had in for the last couple of years have been great, but at $17 a pop made it pretty expensive, whereas these were, I don't know, $4, so $8 all up. So yeah, big difference, and I still think they're looking really good. And over to the Italian garden, and this is a joy for us. As a project, I have to say I was quite worried about it, that it would look a bit naff, mainly because I was doing it, but actually it's beautiful, and when we've got the umbrella up, fantastic. It's so nice. Yeah, it's just beautiful. So I won't take you around all of the trees in the orchard this time. The apricot tree has definitely died, sadly, and also the pear tree that's just beyond it was also looking pretty ropey. The beetles were getting to it. It felt like it might be struggling. All the leaves were falling off, and I thought we were losing that one as well. However, it's picked back up again. So I'm going to leave it there for the minute. I might move it in the autumn winter. All the water from the whole section basically comes down to this area, and I just wonder whether its roots are getting into the too much wet. So I'm thinking I might move it, but otherwise everywhere's looking pretty good. Fig tree, again, I was comparing that with how it was looking last year this time, and it just seems to double in size each year, which is excellent. Otherwise, things seem to be doing pretty well. I'll just take you up to the avocado trees because I was worried about them last month. So this avocado tree was the one that I was most worried about, but I think you can see there now, it's got new leaves coming all over the ends, and that's what happened with that one there as well. I think you can see them even from this distance. And also you can see that the sheep, who have been here for a month now, are much more settled. I can get much closer to them before they feel that they need to move away. They're not spooked by the lawnmowers, so they seem to be settling in nicely. They're so inquisitive. They're funny animals. I really like watching them. So yes, the avocado trees, getting back onto point, seem to have recovered, which is a relief because I was worried I was going to lose them. So there we go. That's the end of November. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your lives to watch this. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.